Unveiling secrets and hesitations. Liberty takes a few days off from her usual activities to stay with her frightened son, Sonny. When she encounters Duncan, he questions why she is present if her son is not with her. Liberty is at a loss for words, unsure of whether to tell the truth or not. She decides to fabricate a story, claiming that Sonny is taking a nap at home and being watched over by Mrs. Lane. Duncan appears amused by her response and remarks that he was simply being nosy. He then bids her farewell and they part ways. Meanwhile, in a hotel, Serenity engages in a lengthy conversation with Audrey and Elisa. The mother and daughter eventually leave when Daryl calls them. Serenity sees them off at the hotel's entrance and begins walking towards her car. However, as she turns around, she notices a group of people emerging from the hotel. Among them, she recognizes her husband Zachary and her brother-in-law Callum. There is another individual in the group whom she vaguely remembers but cannot place. Accompanying Zachary and Callum are several tall men dressed in black. Serenity wonders if they are bodyguards or employees of York Corporation, as there seem to be unfamiliar faces among them. Zachary's bodyguards, responsible for his security, immediately spot Serenity watching them. They panic, realizing that she has identified Zachary in the group. Jim quickly alerts Zachary, and in a rush to protect his true identity, he retreats back into the hotel to hide. Jim fears Serenity will recognize him as she considers him a mere substitute driver. Callum and Josh overhear Jim's warning, while their clients remain oblivious to the conversation. Callum curses inwardly, realizing that Zachary's assurance that they wouldn't bump into Serenity has been proven false. He reflects on the unpredictability and the dangers of speaking in absolutes. Josh, wanting to distance himself from the potential conflict, slows his pace and allows Zachary to walk ahead. Zachary, seemingly the calmest among them, appears unperturbed by the situation, perhaps because Audrey and Elisa are not present to complicate matters further. Zachary takes charge and instructs his colleagues, Josh and Callum, to accompany the clients back to the company while he approaches Serenity. The clients are astonished to see Zachary approaching a woman they don't recognize, as he usually maintains a significant distance from women, except for family members. Zachary walks up to Serenity and straightens her jacket, questioning why she is there and whether she had been waiting for him, aware of his business meeting. Serenity smiles and mentions the luxury cars leaving, asking if they belong to Zachary's colleagues. Zachary explains that the cars belong to notable bosses from other companies who were their clients for the day. He clarifies that many of his colleagues attended the meeting as the company highly values these clients. Meanwhile, Serenity informs Zachary that she had a DNA test with Mrs. Stone, and they are awaiting the results, indicating a possible familial connection. Zachary's expression remains unchanged, and he suggests they pretend as though nothing has happened until the results are available. Serenity expresses her concerns and complex emotions, particularly fearing that Elisa may suspect her motives in attempting to climb the social ladder. She confesses her longing for her deceased mother and the complications that have arisen. Zachary offers comfort, suggesting that reconnecting with Mrs. Stone could provide solace for both of them. He reaches out and embraces Serenity, guiding her towards her car. As they approach the car, Zachary playfully flirts with Serenity, teasing her about driving her husband to work. He then opts to drive himself and asks about the status of Serenity's store. She explains that she closed it for the day due to the students' upcoming winter holidays, but her online store will remain operational, albeit with a busy schedule. Zachary advises her not to overwork herself and warns about the potential back pain caused by prolonged sitting. In the meantime, Jim, who had been hiding in the hotel, finally emerges from his hiding place, likely relieved that the encounter has ended without any potential exposure of Zachary's true identity. Zachary and Serenity discuss the situation regarding Liberty's ongoing divorce from Hank. Zachary suggests helping Liberty with the rent temporarily, but Serenity explains that her sister would not accept such assistance. The sisters have a strong bond and support each other without going overboard. They arrive at York Corporation, and Zachary finds it difficult to take his eyes off Serenity. She playfully questions why he is looking at her instead of going to his office. In response, Zachary continues to watch her, captivated by her presence. Serenity grins and decides to take the initiative by wrapping her arms around his neck and kissing him on the lips. The kiss intensifies as Zachary deepens it, not wanting to let go. Reluctantly, Zachary eventually steps out of the car after the passionate kiss. He expresses his desire to stay by Serenity's side, wanting to be with her constantly. However, he understands the need for her to continue with her work. Serenity explains that she needs to rush her orders at her store, especially with students needing to buy stationery for exams and winter vacation homework. She acknowledges the potential loss of profit if she doesn't open the store. Zachary, feeling a sense of heaviness in his heart, is usually the one who is reluctant to leave Serenity. He reflects on the idea that in the game of love, being the first to fall is considered a loss, and he acknowledges his own defeat. He humorously mentions how he disposed of their agreement, which Serenity had agreed to burn and flush down the drain. This prevents her from using it against him, and he can avoid any potential embarrassment. As Zachary exits the car, Serenity assures him that she will watch him go into the office before leaving. This gesture comforts Zachary, reminding him of Serenity's concern for his well-being. Zachary asks Serenity to sleep in his room while he attends a dinner party, showing their growing intimacy. Serenity agrees, and Zachary feels a mix of excitement and awkwardness, realizing he had previously forbidden her from entering his room. Serenity playfully tells him to go inside and not stand in the cold wind. After Serenity drives away, Zachary encounters Josh in the office building. Josh teases Zachary about wanting to be with Serenity all the time, referring to him as a piece of gum that sticks by her side constantly. Zachary dismisses Josh's comment, stating that a bachelor could never understand the happiness he feels with Serenity. Their conversation turns to Josh's interest in Jasmine, and he expresses his admiration for her willingness to go out of her way for others. Josh asks Zachary to check with Serenity if Jasmine has returned to the store. Zachary initially hesitates, concerned that it might distract Serenity while she is driving. However, Josh insists, and Zachary agrees to ask Serenity once she is safely off the road. As they enter the office, Josh continues to gossip and discusses a phone call he received from Mr. Lowe of Lowe Enterprise. Lowe Enterprise had quickly reacted to the termination of their business dealings with York Corporation, as it was a significant move for a powerful company like York. Mr. Lowe called Josh and not Zachary directly. Josh informs Zachary about Mr. Lowe's call regarding the termination of business dealings between York Corporation and Lowe Enterprise. Zachary decides to postpone meeting with Mr. Lowe until after the New Year's and reveals that he will be going on a business trip in 2 days. Josh is surprised by the news, questioning Zachary's willingness to leave Serenity as their relationship is improving. Zachary then shares the surprising revelation that Audrey's long-lost sister, whom she has been searching for, is most likely his own mother-in-law. Josh is taken aback by this information, as the upper-class society in Witherspoon is aware of Audrey's quest. He teases Zachary about his relationship with Mrs. Stone, considering himself to be Mrs. Stone's nephew-in-law and finding humor in the situation. Zachary throws objects at Josh playfully, urging him to leave. Josh advises Zachary to be honest with Serenity about the situation and expresses his admiration for her character. He questions Zachary's fear of confessing to Serenity, reminding him that the truth will come out eventually and that he should have confidence in his wife's loyalty. Zachary admits his fear of losing Serenity if he reveals everything. Josh teases Zachary about his previous stubbornness and shares his admiration for Serenity. He encourages Zachary to reflect on his feelings during his business trip and to consider how he will confess everything to Serenity upon his return. Zachary decides to use this time away to think about the best approach for revealing his true identity and intentions to Serenity, acknowledging his inexperience in love. Josh expresses his frustration towards the York family for hiding Zachary's true identity from Serenity. He feels that they should have been honest with her from the beginning instead of concealing the fact that Zachary is the heir to the York family. Josh reflects on his own situation with Jasmine and decides that he will reveal his true identity to her the next time they meet. Zachary expresses his fear of losing Serenity if he confesses everything to her. He believes that it is better to wait until their feelings are deeper and she is more attached to him before revealing the truth. Josh reassures him, reminding him of Serenity's stubborn but forgiving nature and encouraging him to put in more effort to move her heart. He assures Zachary that Serenity will understand the decision he made in the past when they were still strangers. Despite his concerns, Zachary decides to go on a business trip to give himself time to think about how to approach the confession and make Serenity less angry. Josh jokes about taking a break and reminds Zachary to let Callum handle more tasks in his absence. Zachary receives a message from Serenity, and his face softens as he reads it. Josh playfully remarks on the impact Serenity has on Zachary, calling him hopeless. Zachary calls Serenity, saying that he wanted to hear her voice and assure himself that she is back at the store. Serenity finds his sweet words unfamiliar but laughs it off, admitting that she's not used to hearing him say such things. Zachary acknowledges that he is not accustomed to expressing himself in such a way and decides to be himself rather than trying to imitate others. Zachary and Serenity have a heartfelt phone conversation where they express their love and affection for each other. Zachary admits that he is inexperienced in love but is willing to learn and put in effort to make Serenity happy. They discuss the health of Jasmine, whom Josh is interested in, and Serenity hopes for a positive outcome for them. Serenity also emphasizes her financial independence and self-reliance, stating that she doesn't need Zachary's support but wouldn't refuse if he wanted to contribute financially. This mindset stems from her sister's failed marriage and her desire to be cautious in her own relationship. After the call, Zachary interacts with Josh, joking about their future relationships. They discuss the possibility of Zachary going on a business trip and delaying his confession to Serenity about his true identity and the connection between Serenity's mother-in-law and Mrs. Stone. Zachary fears that revealing the truth might cause Serenity to leave him, and Josh advises him to take the initiative and put more effort into their relationship. Later, Mr. Chaplin enters the office and presents Zachary with a bag from Grandma May, which contains a pair of diamond rings intended for Zachary and Serenity. This gesture highlights the thoughtfulness of Grandma May and her acceptance of Serenity as part of the family. Zachary receives a bag from Mr. Chaplin, which contains 2 red brocade boxes. Josh realizes that the boxes are diamond rings sent by Zachary's grandmother, Grandma May, to please Serenity. Josh envies Zachary for having a caring grandmother who is concerned about his marriage. He reflects on his own situation, as his own grandmother has passed away. Zachary decides to call Grandma May and express his hesitation in accepting the rings as a gift. He offers to buy them from her, fearing that Serenity might think they are cheap knockoffs if she discovers they were given for free. Grandma May teases him and offers a humorous discount, but ultimately tells him to decide how much he wants to pay. She mentions that in the future, any money given to her as a great-grandmother will be rewarded to Serenity, as it will still belong to the young couple. After the call with Grandma May, Zachary feels grateful and happy. He realizes that time flies quickly, and it's already dinner time. Meanwhile, Hank returns home to discuss his divorce formalities with his parents. His mother, Olivia, is surprised to see him and asks if he has eaten. Hank explains that he hasn't eaten and asks if there's enough food left for him. Olivia goes into the kitchen to prepare his portion of dinner. Mr. Brown, Hank's father, questions why he has returned and criticizes him for not caring about Sonny, their child. Hank suggests they eat first before discussing something important. Mr. Brown notices the yellow manila envelope Hank brought with him but doesn't ask about it directly. After the meal, Hank opened the yellow manila envelope he had brought with him. Inside were copies of the evidence against him that Liberty had gathered. He intended to show them to his parents and seek their advice on how to handle the situation. Hank handed the evidence to his father, who examined them with a grave expression. Olivia, concerned and curious, asked what the evidence was. Hank explained that Liberty had collected proof of his infidelity and intended to use it during the divorce proceedings. He shares the evidence she presented to him, revealing that he will have to split his assets with her equally. This news shocks Olivia, who expresses regret that they didn't give Liberty the requested $200,000 earlier. She slaps Hank for not informing them about the situation and potentially losing a significant amount of money. Hank explains that Liberty is a ruthless person and wouldn't easily let him go. He shows them the divorce agreement, stating that he and Liberty had already signed it, and they have an appointment at City Hall the next day. He discloses that he has made the decision to give up custody of their son, Sonny, but assures his parents that they will still have visitation rights. Mr. Brown and Olivia are deeply disappointed by Hank's choice and condemn him for giving up on fighting for custody. Olivia suggests that Hank should break things off with his current girlfriend, the Yates girl, and try to reconcile with Liberty for the sake of their family. She believes that continuing the divorce process will be costly, resulting in a loss of over $1 million and the loss of their grandson. She pleads with Hank not to proceed with the divorce, stating that he is not allowed to divorce Liberty. Hank, with a bitter smile, explains that he and Liberty have reached a point of no return in their relationship. He points out that if they don't settle for divorce, she will likely sue him, and due to the evidence he possesses of Matthew's abuse towards Sonny, she is likely to win custody. He believes that an amicable split is the best option, as it allows them to maintain some level of civility and still be able to interact cordially in the future. Hank emphasizes that there's no need to become enemies. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, The Voice Novel, and select all from the notification bell, so you will get notified whenever a new video is uploaded. Thank you.